What is up, everybody? Long time no see. What is the video capture device? Yes. This. How is everybody doing? So, I figured it's been how long since I've.
2 weeks?
Oh my god, don't fucking do this to
Just
me. Oh my god. Just give me a second, everybody, okay? Yes, I know.
now you'll be able to move
There.
past that.
I gotta remember to double click. So I'm back, and it's been a pretty hectic week. I have been. I spent most of my day Monday in a fucking airport because in Chicago the flights have got canceled. And, well, I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to play a game of basketball while I talk. I really don't feel like playing too much tonight. Kind of been a long week for the family. We got some bad news recently. Me and let's see. Me, right there they are. Let me do some things here quick. Jesus. Let this do its thing.
Welcome to Wednesday night's NBA action here on 2K Sports. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Milwaukee Bucks going up against the Phoenix Suns. Alongside Grant Hill and Clark Kellogg, I'm Brian Anderson. We'll talk to Allie LaForce, who's on the sidelines as well. Hey, Allie.
Yeah, the casual
Just give me a second.
Chris Middleton, but
Boy, it sure does. Thank you, Allie. Here are the five for the Suns. Devin.
So I'm going to turn all this down and so that I can talk. Didn't realize it was going to be this loud. Jesus. So I was playing or this week has been an interesting week for me, to say the least. So it started on the 3rd. So I ended up going out to Seattle this past week. And so I went out to Seattle this past week. And so it started on the 3rd of August. So Monday or Tuesday. I can't with this camera. Give me a second, guys. I'm just. Can't defend the champ. So I went out to Seattle this past week, and so I don't like flying. I hate it. I never have liked it. So on my way out to. I get up at 6 o'clock. Can't remember. I think it was like 6 o'clock. I'm not a morning person. My flight was at 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I think. So, what the fuck? I'm down 7-4. Jesus Christ. So my flight was at 10 o'clock, Heather. I'm sorry. I'm trying to focus on that. I'm not very good at doing two things at one time. It's weird. So my flight was at 10 o'clock. And I get there at 7 o'clock thinking, okay, I should be good, whatever, whatnot. And I get there and I start checking in, and my flight is canceled from Chicago to Seattle. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I went to the front desk, and they couldn't answer as to why my flight was canceled. So I didn't have a flight until the 5th of August out to Seattle. And I'm like, I have to be out there before today. I mean, I have to be out there today. And I said, I have to be out there today. So I get a flight out there. I sat, and the flight wasn't until 5:30, I think, was when my flight was out there too. And I didn't get out to Seattle until I think it was midnight. And then I had to drive to my out to my hotel. I get to my hotel, and I don't pay attention to any of this shit. That's, where I sleep doesn't matter to me as long as, I can sleep. And I can't sleep in hotels anyway. So I get to my hotel room, and apparently the hotel rooms are terrible. Because I get out there, and I'm not paying attention. There's blood stains. Some people are telling me shit. There's blood stains all over my floor and all this shit. So we end up moving out to another hotel, which is a pretty nice hotel up by the airport in Seattle. And so the week's going well. So I get home. I go home. I get from Seattle to Chicago, and things are going well. I get to Chicago, and my flight gets canceled from Chicago to Madison, which is a 45-minute flight, about 2 hours from, the 2 hours from Chicago drive. I'm like, I'm not sitting in this fucking airport. I sat in the airport from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock, and I'm like, fuck this. I am going home. So I get on a bus. And head home. Yeah, I know, 10 in the key. So I get home about midnight on the 9th. Fucking rough. And then I get to work. I go back to work. I had Tuesday off. Wednesday off. I can't remember. It's been a long fucking week. So then, not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, my brother messages me, and my dad, who, if y'all don't know, he's having health issues and such. So he went to the doctor. He had a lesion on his liver, and they wanted to do a biopsy on it. Well, the biopsy came back positive. He has liver cancer. We don't know how extensive it is yet. He's doing well. I talked to him yesterday. I'm actually going up there to see him Sunday. For all of you that were wondering how he is, that's where we're at with my dad right now. It's been a really long week for me, so I'm actually really fucking tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. I figured it's been a while since I've been here, and I figured, why not play a little NBA 2K for you guys? God damn it. Thank you, EJ News and Updates. I appreciate that. Like I said, we don't know how extensive it is. Hopefully, and the best case scenario is just the lesion, and that's it. But my dad, as we all know, well, none of you know, but he was some of you might. I might have told some of you. My dad was over in Vietnam, and there's this thing called Agent Orange, and he knew it was coming. I've been prepared for it for a while now. So yeah, we've been dealing with that, and it's a struggle. I'm okay. My dad's fine. He's in good spirits. I think we're gonna be okay. My dad pretty much got everything taken care of before any of this happens, so we're gonna go and make sure that everything's good with him. But for everybody that reached out to me, I'm okay. We're doing well. It is a struggle, but what are you gonna do? Life is life. Cancer sucks. We all know this. We just have to deal with what we deal with. I'm pretty simple when it comes to things like this. I'm not gonna cry over spilt milk. I'm devastated, but other than that, I'm okay. But yeah, I hate fucking flying. So, funny story about flying. While I was in the air, I kept track of how many times my brown eye fucking puckered up. And if you know what a brown eye is, that's your asshole. On the way out to Seattle. My ass puckered up a record 38 times. It sucked. I don't like flying. Um, with what's going on in the world today. Oh, and speaking of that, we had one of the soldiers that was out there tested positive for COVID, so I had to go get tested for COVID. I came back negative. And just so everybody knows, the soldier that tested positive was vaccinated. So this vaccine is not a cure. Just so everybody knows. Don't say, oh, if you get vaccinated, you won't kill people. You can get vaccinated and you can still, don't think just because you got the vaccine that you're free and clear, because you're not. You're not free and clear. Never take things for granted. This vaccine doesn't stop anything. Okay? I am like 0 for 10 shooting threes. I don't understand it. I think Antetokounmpo has all my points. Look at that. Nobody can fucking defend me. I think I have 17. Antetokounmpo has 17 points. I tested negative. Heather and I did get our shot. I was going to do it anyway. The positive test from the soldier that we had at the thing did not scare me into getting a fucking test or getting a shot. I was planning on doing it anyway. Oh my God. How is that not a foul, man? So, don't believe everything you hear. The vaccinating isn't a cure, people. I don't know what people thought was actually God damn it. All right. Sucks. And so, yeah, we're doing that. Loving life. I'm loving life. So, like the guy was nowhere near me and knocked the ball out of my hand. Like, what the hell? 15 seconds in the fucking lane. Look at this motherfucker. He gets called for a foul. That's terrible, man. Look at that. So how's everybody else doing out there? Oh, speaking of COVID. So I'm on the flight back in from Seattle, and I'm talking to this lady and, telling her what I was doing out in Seattle and how they were doing, because they're an older couple. And on the planes, you have to wear a mask. You have to, which is fine. I am not against it. So I'm sitting on the plane, and her husband sits down, and he goes, "Can I ask you a personal question?" Oh, yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. He goes, "Are you vaccinated?" I looked at him, and I said, No, I'm not vaccinated. Are you? So I looked at him, and I said, "But you don't have to worry about me. I'm following all the protocols. You can't, just don't try and argue with me because you're going to lose because I'm not doing anything illegal, you know." And didn't talk to me the rest of the fucking flight. Like, I don't care. People need to fucking stay out your fucking business. It's none of anybody's fucking business what you do. If you want to fucking if you want to tell them, that's on you. I'm not afraid to tell people shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what people think. They don't fucking like it. They can lick my brown eye, which puckered up about 13 fucking times. So with me, it looks like I have a basement with me. How's it going, man? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like shit, dog.
I can hear you. I feel you. Yeah, it's been pretty, and my health is fine, but it's been a pretty rough couple of days for us, for me anyway. I know Heather's fed up with fucking Wendy. She wants to fucking shoot her in the face, but that's just a whole nother issue. But
I want to kill my my insurance company. Is who I want to kill.
yeah, why?
Man, I don't know if you've ever taken like disability leave from work or anything like that. But like here, I guess it has to do with like our healthcare system too.
Right.
They require so much. Like I have 40 pages of documentation that I need filled out, not only by myself,
Really?
but by a physician. And the thing is, you don't get this shit until you get discharged from the hospital. So what physician am I seeing at this point in time that I don't have a like schedule to see a month
Right.
or two later, right?
Right.
So like they hound me like every day because they don't want to pay me until a physician will sign off saying, yeah, he's fucked up, can't move, can't do shit.
Right.
Right. And I finally get in to see my my family doctor like a couple days ago. And I end up getting that shit finally, and I sent it in yesterday. I don't know what's happening with that yet, but I have to pay for that.
Well,
$100 to get a fucking physician to sign a piece of paper, or no, not
that's
really. Like,
ridiculous.
he's got to fill out a couple pieces of paper, but
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, man, it's a slow, real slow crawl
Right.
back to
So
kind of
Heather
normal.
just said, so yeah, free healthcare.
No such thing.
I
all
know
bullshit.
there's not. I know there's not. Well,
The only good thing between my healthcare and your healthcare is that if I have to get major surgery, I don't have to pay for it. I've already paid for it. In a more manageable way.
Right. So my thinking of healthcare, that's health insurance. Healthcare to me is the actual doctor taking care of you. That's healthcare.
Yeah, there's no such thing. Doctor shows up for 2 seconds here.
No,
Ooh,
I
you're dying.
got you.
Goodbye.
I got you. Here,
Nurse,
that's
come
a
in here.
little,
Do my job.
for us, that's a little different here. I mean, they actually take the time to, yeah, they actually ask you, so what's going on, and then they check you, and they sit and talk to you for a few minutes, and so they don't just up and just walk away from you like,
I can tell you right now, I have to monitor my own health way more than any doctor.
Right.
Because I go to the family doctor and my fucking blood pressure's through the roof,
Mm-hmm.
and this motherfucker is I'm asking for a certain drug that I took the first time I got this shit, right?
Right.
Because it helped immensely. And
Right.
I'm like, give it to me. I know I have to I have to monitor my blood because it can fuck up your kidneys and stuff, right?
Right.
But just give me the drug, give me a requisition form to get my blood drawn in 3 weeks or whatever.
Right.
Just, I'm telling you, I need this. I'm for my health. And whether if you can't give me this, give me an alternative to this. And this fucking clown is like, no, like trying everything to not do anything. I'm like, okay, well then I'll just fucking leave here and fall down in the parking lot and die. Thank you very much.
Right.
Fucking blood pressure through the roof. Like these guys, man, they're fucking terrible here.
That should be fucking technical foul. Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to ask me on the flight if I was vaccinated or not. I knew it was coming, and I should have just pulled down my fucking mask and started coughing and sneezing and. Oh, come on!
Honestly, I don't care how I would sound. I just look at them and say none of your business, and just that's it.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I'm
what the
not.
fuck?
I'm.
Do you have? I want to turn around. Do you have an STD? Like, what the fuck? I'm not asking you personal fucking questions. You fucking queef. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I get it. So on
Like, I
any
can't believe it's become like an acceptable thing to ask somebody anything medical history wise and have them answer in a way that's supposed to be yes or no. For somebody you don't even know.
Right.
Fuck off, man.
Right. I'm gonna go fill my drink.
You just quit the game.
Fuck that.
You know him.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my god.
So that new medication is helping you?
Yeah, I got what I needed. Well, I got what I wanted. I just got it like a couple days ago, so like I've only taken it for 2 days. It's already like.
You can already feel the difference, yeah.
Yeah, it's these like in the end, if anybody out there that's ever listened to this gets sick, do yourself a favor. Don't rely on any professional. Take their opinions.
But do the research on your own in a way that you can figure out that you're not going to die. So don't use WebMD.
Learn, yeah, is like you stub my toe. Chances of death 90%. Do your own due diligence, but also monitor how your body feels.
Yep.
Be your own physician. Learn the medications you're taking and what they do to you, and follow that more than a fucking doctor that's gonna come in. Like, if I came in and I saw you for 1 second, would you believe anything I was telling you? I don't know you. I've never. People react differently to everything.
Right.
But whatever. Fuck that shit.
I'm with you, man.
It's always something, man. I get tired of it. Like the guy, I had the same thing 2.5 years ago. Then COVID. Then this again. The recovery time is gonna be fucking astronomical. I already know because it's like slow as molasses.
Yeah.
But hopefully I get time off work up until the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it.
I want to punch my boss in the face. I can tell you that much right now.
I want to punch everybody I work with in the face. I want to go in there and I literally just want to fucking punch everyone, shit on the floor, and say, you know what, fuck you, and there's no, you're not too bad, no, fuck you too, and then walk away.
Right. Yeah, I am to the point. Like, okay, so I take care of an entire state for what I do. So I cover the entire state, like how many ever millions of people we have. And I think we might have like 2 or 3 million people in the state of Iowa. But I don't take care of all 2 to 3 million people. Let's keep that in mind. So I take care of the soldiers. So I have 13,000 soldiers and families that I take care of total. So what I do is help them find resources, like if they're having a rough time, because they deserve it. Because they've paid their dues. You know what I mean? So that's what I do for a living, and so I'm taking over another state because we lost a couple of verses and such. So I'm taking over an entire state, and the state of Montana, which I think they have like 3,000 to 4,000 soldiers and families that I cover, which everybody has now approximately about that, like 18,000, 19,000 soldiers and families to take care of, which is whatever. That's not that big of a deal. It's a lot of fucking units to handle. It's like 80 units, which individual, companies that I take care of. But she called me specifically, and I should have recorded the conversation because she said, Jeremy, I'm like, and that's my real name, everybody, don't get excited. She's like, so I don't want you to do anything right now because we need to figure out and make sure that this is exactly what we want to do. Well, the lady that has that state, bless her heart, gave me the nickname Jer Bear. Not trying to steal your name, but so she's like, it was a dare. So she was like telling me, whatever. She knew it was coming and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing anything. I said, I have no problems doing that, but I'm not going to do anything because I was told by her not to do anything. And shit. So I'm like, all right, well, today, or was it yesterday, there was a request put in for a unit visit, a visit to that specific company. And she responds to my coordinator who, takes care, is not really my boss, but he assists in the process of, takes care of all the paperwork and all that stuff. Sent it to her and said, Laura, which is her name, she's like, I know Jeremy's taking over this unit, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. And I shouldn't have said her name, but she's like, well, isn't he already handling that? And I'm like sitting there reading this, and I'm like, you told me not to do a fucking thing. But yet you sat on this for 2 weeks now. And now you're going to fucking throw me and her under the bus because you can't cover your own ass. There was no decision made on anything, and both of us got thrown under the bus for this. So I was pretty pissed. So it's been a long fucking week for me. Long fucking week. Fuck flying. My ass puckered up 38 times on the way out to fucking Seattle. 38, I counted.
I second that, man. Fuck flying. Flying is the first thing that fucked me up with this shit. Fuck flying.
Not a fan. Really not a fan. I never have been. Well, there's a reason why I don't like flying, and it has everything to do with helicopters. So I was in the Army. I went to air assault school, and you have to rappel out of a helicopter twice. Well, the first one went great. The second one, not so much. I ended up upside down coming out of the helicopter. So imagine somebody with the helicopter rotors blowing. I mean, you're up in the air 100 feet, and you've got the downwash of the fucking rotors going. You can't stop and you're upside down looking at the ground.
Good.
Yeah, so fuck flying, fuck heights. Like I don't even like being on a step ladder.
I'm
That's
not a
how.
big. I'm not like I don't have like a natural fear of heights, but I don't care to be at heights. If
Right.
Again, it's not like I don't have a rational fear of them,
Right.
but I do have I mean, fuck. If you're a person, you know that if you fall off a certain height, you're
Yep.
dead. So you should be somewhat fearful of heights. That's a rational fear to have.
Yep. Totally get it. Totally get it. Oh, before we go, Rayshawn. So everybody knows there's going to be something coming on my channel, and I'm not gonna give it away. But be watching on Twitter. Be watching on the Cold Bone Show Twitter, which is at the Cold Bone. I just hit a 3 for shit. So I want to shout this out real quick. Be paying attention to Rayshawn's Twitter. Be paying attention to my Twitter. And be paying attention to Heather's Twitter. We've got something coming for you guys in about a week and a half or so. So be looking for that. I think we're gonna debut that starting tomorrow. So be looking on Twitter. And I'll give you a little hint. We're not done yet. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will when it debuts tomorrow. So, and it's a little teaser for you guys. Just going to throw that out there. So,
Interesting.
here. It has to do with something we did last year.
This game is so broken.
It is. I mean, I turned down the fucking difficulty.
But I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Nobody's stopping. Anybody that's 6'9" and above that's fast and can dunk, you're gonna dominate. Unless the game goes super cheap and like they make 90% of the 3-pointers.
Right.
I prefer like the simulation part of this game way more than the actual gameplay. And I've played a fair amount of the game, but still.
I have thought about, and I was going to do it, and I still might do it, but Madden will be back next week, so I'll be doing that next week. Madden 22 debuts.
I don't know, like at this point, because the cost of new games, and I know it's just $10 more than it used to be,
Yeah.
but for me, I mean, for a while there, I was only buying like every other year's NBA or every other year's whatever sports game. And I want to stick to that because it's realistically like for NBA 2K, it's a roster update.
Right.
For $89.99, which is
right
not acceptable.
I am kind of looking forward to Madden this year, just because it's the first full year that the PS5 has been out, and
that's true. You're gonna get the full impact of
last year wasn't the full.
It was like an upgrade, like visual upgrade or whatever.
It really wasn't even a visual, honestly. It was a little smoother gameplay, but it wasn't. The visuals weren't that much different. This year's visuals. Go ahead.
The game was made for PS4, and it was just like slightly enhanced for PS5.
Yeah.
Instead of made for PS5. That's what I want to see, and I wonder if I'm curious actually if it is still going to be the case, because it will come out on PS4 as well.
It is, but that's what we'll find out, because next week the game debuts. I think I can start playing it. I think, when can I start playing that, Heather? I think she passed the fuck out on me.
At some point in time in the morning. It's usually coincides, from my understanding, with like Pacific Standard Time.
Right. Hey, Heather. Oh, when does Madden 22 come out for me? It doesn't, since I pre-ordered it, doesn't it come out earlier? I thought it was the 17th, you said. So whatever it is, I'd have to look. So whatever it is, it'll be, I think it'll be out before next Friday. So we'll be playing Madden. I'll be starting the season with Madden. And then I'll do what I did last year with Madden on my channel, where we'll do a comedy thing for noises and stuff. I'll actually record some noises of me screaming and shit. It'll be entertaining. Right? Yeah. That, right?
Working through my rain dance. Oh. I think he's long
Yeah, so you
gone.
can debut that tomorrow. I don't know if you heard. Look at, I can't miss. I can't miss.
The debut. You got to debut it.
Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. So I don't. What did you think about the Bucks winning?
I like the Bucks winning. I don't think it's going to happen again next year. I really don't.
No, I don't
They're
either.
still a good team. It's just there's the competition has increased. As long as like the thing is there were injuries, but I still think the Bucks. I love their team. I love the fact that they built their team properly instead of just bought their team.
Correct.
And I also love the fact that it's built around the center basically or a power forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big, agile, non 3-point shooter. You know what the league is like. I look at things and I see the change that's happening in the league. 3-point shooting is still there, but the biggest change that's happening is most teams are going to be centralized around, and it has been this way to a point, but it's going to be this way more. Going to be centralized around a big point forward,
Mm-hmm.
like a LeBron James, like a Giannis, a big player that can pass the ball and create.
Right.
Because like I mean, think about it. If you're gonna have a really good passer on your team or someone that's gonna like start the offense, why
Mm-hmm.
would you not want him to be 6'10"? He can see over all the 6'2" guards, pass over the 6'2" guards, get inside, and then pass out. I mean, there's so many benefits to it, and half the teams already have one. I mean, I look at the Raptors, and they're in a rebuild mode. They fucking not only did they draft, but every single player they picked up was the exact same. We did nothing but pick up 6'9" super athletes.
Right. I I'm not gonna lie to you. I've not been a fan of basketball, but watching and it's not just because of the Bucks, because I like that it's a big man's game again. Like I liked it when it was a big man's game. It was a big man's game in the early '90s when it started going away from the big man's game because of Michael Jordan. Everybody wanted to.
Well, I liked that era of Michael Jordan too because you had to fight. Like it was a gritty game at that point.
I mean, I thought the finals were pretty physical. They were.
Well, I mean, they do get that way, but like, in the thing that I found during the Michael Jordan era, the regular season, the refs had a lot more leniency.
Right.
Now it's like the whistle controls the game, and it's not fun to watch when that's the case. Because all these mamby-pamby bitches are the ones that basically control the league. You've got fucking B cup babes on the 3-point line, fucking taking 3-pointers, and like anybody looks at them the wrong way, and it's foul. Fuck that shit. They'd rather be on GQ magazine than play basketball.
Right. Yeah, I kind of became a fan of basketball again watching this finals. I mean, both
But I also
teams.
think it's your team, right? When your team does well, and you see a good progression in the team instead of like the middling or they get to the playoffs and then fall apart. It does help like ignite interest. and
Mhm.
it's the change in the league, and the league is changing in a good way for me.
I agree.
And I agree with you. I prefer the big, like let's be real, man. If we're looking at basketball and the way the sport's played, the most dominant player on a team should be fucking 7 foot monster. Come
Agreed.
on.
What? Well, look at this guy. He's like getting ready to cry. Like, don't tell me what I should and should do. I think you should do this. I think you need a haircut, pal. You need to cut your fucking hair. Look at you, you fucking boys to men or Backstreet Boys looking motherfucker. Look at this guy.
He
Look
looks
at
like a palm tree.
this guy. No, the other guy. This guy here.
Devin Booker.
No, the guy next to him.
No, but they all look like fucking gays.
This guy. Number 20. His hair is all fucking. It's off to the fucking side.
Oh, Dario Saric or whatever his name
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I don't know. He's European. He gets a pass. I don't know. I like basketball, but I've been watching since the Jays returned to the home field here because they were gone for fucking over almost like a year and a half. I've been watching a lot of baseball, and man, the Jays are turning me on.
the Blue Jays are back in Toronto.
Yep.
Oh, they finally.
They came back and they've been just fucking dominating.
Well, they're actually at home. They aren't in Buffalo.
Yeah, well, that fucking sucks, man. And the same thing happened with the Raptors, like having no home stadium for the whole season. Come on, it's not fair.
So they didn't have they didn't play at home at all this year.
The Jays didn't. We have players on the team that have never played in Canada. And they've been with the team for like a year and a half.
But I'm talking about the Raptors. They didn't.
The Raptors didn't play at home at all.
Really? Where did they play?
I think it was Tampa Bay.
Oh, so they were in the bubble.
They stayed in the bubble because nobody could travel to Canada. Right? The borders were closed up until like now.
Like, what the fuck was that, motherfucker?
That was disgusting.
That was fucking retarded. You wouldn't let me fucking press the button. Come on, you fucking clown. Oh, come on. Get the fuck out of here. I want to punch that motherfucker in the face. Devin Booker is a whiny little bitch.
Devin Booker is a good player.
I'm not going to say he's not.
The thing is, I feel like he's a good player, but he's only as good as he is because of the era he plays in. I think like if people were able to hand check and stuff him, he'd be
mediocre at best.
A better than average 2 guard.
I did. Well, I had you delete it because we think we found a new game for Wednesdays for you guys. So I said, go ahead and delete it. But then I'm like, delete Madden 21 because I got Madden 22. So
they released the external hard drives you can get for the PS5 now.
They do. Oh yeah, how much are they? Yeah, see,
it ain't cheap.
No, I can tell you it's not cheap. Hey, Chris Paul, maybe one day you'll win a ring.
I can't believe Chris Paul re-signed until he's 40 for as much money as they gave him. I think it was like $100 million or something. I don't know, ridiculous amount for probably another year.
Oh, you
actually
fuck off!
Good playing.
Fuck off!
I don't know. The best athlete ever is Jose Canseco.
Well,
yeah, well, for entertainment purposes.
Oh, for entertainment purposes, absolutely.
Yeah. He was like a Cro-Magnon, man. Like he never evolved. He's from fucking Encino Man. What was that? Was that the movie where they got him out of ice? Brendan Fraser. I think it was.
I don't know. I just remember Jose Canseco had a fucking ball bounce off his head and it bounced over the wall for a home run.
Yeah, it was great.
My brother fucking loved him. Like,
He had like a mullet, but I'm pretty sure he was brain dead.
oh, he's brain damaged. Well, it's from all the fucking steroids he used, man.
Yeah.
That
Well,
motherfucker, him and Mark McGuire were popping each other in the ass with a fucking needle every day.
I remember Mark McGuire just like chewing gum on the side, and I'm like, yo, his jaw muscles are bigger than any muscle in my body.
The thing about Mark McGuire is I'm glad that he won the fucking home run chase that year against. I fucking hate Sammy Sosa. Sammy
But look at him
Sosa is a
now.
piece of trash.
Sammy Sosa is fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost now.
Oh yeah, well he's Michael Jackson's big brother, little brother. I mean, come on.
I think they should just allow everybody to take steroids.
I
If
think they
want
should.
to. Fuck it. Whatever. They know the threat.
Right. So I went watched the Olympics, a little bit of the Olympics this year, and apparently some woman or some transgender was a woman weightlifter. She did not win a medal.
I think she got injured.
No, she just didn't.
All I know is there was one that like broke every record before the Olympics and then did nothing in the Olympics, which makes no sense.
I think that was her.
It might have been her. That's what Heather said. Might have been her.
Did she look 100% like a man?
She
Yes.
did. She looked like the
Yeah.
dude from fucking Modern Family.
Okay, yeah, we're thinking about the same person.
I honestly, if they're making the full transition, I'm off. I could care less. But if they're not fully transitioned, and they shouldn't be competing in.
Also, if you're gonna be a weightlifter for most of your life
Mhm.
and then decide to be a woman at 38 years old,
right?
you might have a leg up on some of these others that are
Absolutely. Yeah.
there. Muscle
Agreed.
memory and whatnot. Just
Mhm.
some estrogen is not going to get rid of that.
Yep.
Plus, I don't know, man. That woman looked like she needed some estrogen. No, they needed to fucking ship in a boatload because that, like, whatever they gave her, she fought it off tooth and nail.
Right.
Holy shit, man! She's more manly looking than I am, and she transitioned. It's crazy.
Agreed. Yeah, I watched the Olympics. The United States won. They won the most golds. They won the most silvers, and I think they won the most bronzes too.
I think it was the U.S., then China, then I don't know.
Yeah, it was U.S., then China, and then Russia.
It's usually those
The
couple.
ROC.
Yeah.
The usual fucking suspects.
Usual suspects.
What the
I love how
fuck is that?
He took the shot without the ball. That was great.
Well, it's because I knocked it out of his hand. You fucking. I hate this fucking guy too. Jamison
Jack Crowder?
Crowder. He is such
Yeah.
a.
In this
He is.
game, he's fucking super all-star.
Everybody, every time he fucking does anything, it's like I got fouled. Nobody's within 10 yards of you.
Who's
What the fuck are you talking about? Guy's a fucking clown.
I wish, like, if like an NBA player flops or a soccer player or whoever, and they see the obvious flop on like replay,
Yeah.
then they bring in like a boxer, and the boxer just gets one unprotected straight right to their face. You'll see that shit stop real fast.
So apparently they're changing some. That's a foul. They're changing a couple of the rules. Like you can't jump into a guy.
Thank God. Like for the longest time in basketball, you had offensive players initiating fouls
Yeah.
by jumping into them during, like they'd wait until the guy jumped and then they jump. In what world are you jumping into the defender to initiate a foul? That shouldn't even be allowed.
Oh, So apparently it is if you go to take a shot and then you lean into him to draw a foul, you get called for an offensive foul.
Kobe did it all the time.
Yep. Devin Booker does it. Well, Devin Booker emulates his game.
Well, I mean, almost every fucking shooting guard in the league will do it.
Mm-hmm. So you can't do that anymore.
I hate that shit anyway. I'm good it's gone.
The flopping is a thing now. I heard them talk about
I think that was actually done like a year ago or something, where if it's like I can't remember the actual call, but they did look at it as like they will be able to, they'll replay any like charge and shit or flop, and then if you're called on it, you're fucked.
Fucking Connaughton. He was actually pretty good in that fucking series, man. I don't know if you've seen the videos of me watching. Whoa, Jesus Christ!
The final game.
The final game for the title.
I did not.
Oh, yeah.
I put them in the horny goat.
Man, I don't know where I am half the time. The Bucks have a good team and they've got a good bench. So like, Connaughton is not like a great player, but like he fills a role. Really
He was
well.
pretty good. He was pretty good. No. Oh. He was pretty good in the series. You can't defend that. You can't defend that. Come on.
There's not a player on the Suns that can defend that.
Not in real life either. And they
No. This is why they lost.
People were saying the Bucks were going to lose in 4, and it's like I don't think Giannis was going to let them lose.
I mean, Milwaukee deserved to be in the finals more than fucking Phoenix Suns, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh. Oh boy, Connaughton's fucking tired. Oh my god.
He's 2 for 8.
Oh!
Connaughton is shooting 90% of the shots in this game. 2 for 8. He's played for like 2.5 minutes. Give it to me, coach. I'm open.
Actually, he's been out there all the second quarter. If I remember right.
Out there chucking it, baby.
Right. Come on, shoot the.
Fucking remove my lungs. Wear them on my head.
Yeah. I hear you. Oh, it pulled Giannis again.
Oh, God.
Run around.
Eminem's child comes out as gender fluid. I still don't really understand what that means. It's like you wake up and you're a man.
Nobody
tomorrow
knows.
You're a girl. Like it just depends on which way the wind is going, whether you're going to be a guy or a girl that day. Why does the world have to be so confusing?
Because
when it's not.
I don't know, man. My thing right now we're dealing. Well, the United States. We pulled all of our troops out of Afghanistan, and the people that embedded and fucking aided Osama bin Laden are taking over the fucking country again. And everybody's like, well, they didn't fucking do anything. Look, you fucking clown. They're the ones that fucking aided and embedded the guy who funded the goddamn bombing. So don't fucking tell me that we shouldn't be going after them.
Well, when you see people running away from the country because they're in fear of the Taliban and what they're doing, it's obviously a problem.
Yeah, people don't care. People don't care. They seem to think they're stuck on this. Oh, we're bad people because we were at war with them for 20 years. No, we were at war with them because of what they helped. What's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, there's bad on both sides, but doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, I don't know. There's always going to be, like, you can overanalyze anything you want, but in the end, you're going to have to look at, like, what can we do that's going to be good that we can measure, like, actually measure instead of, like, theorize for forever.
Right.
Because you can't fix the butterfly effect of what things happen, but you can at least, like, look at what is evidently happening and try to fix or help that.
Yeah. I just, people drive me fucking nuts. It says like, people are, oh my God, people are defending them for doing what they're doing. Like, do you not see what they're doing? They're
I don't know
occupying.
when the Taliban became, like, not a terrorist organization.
Right?
Like, when did that change? Are
Never.
they all of a sudden doing, like, finger paintings in schools and shit? I don't think so.
They're going around enforcing girls. That's terrorism.
That should be a foul. Just gonna say. He knocked him the fuck down.
Threw him into, like, the 8th row.
Yeah, he did. Come on. Can't defend that. You can't defend him. Can't defend him. He can. I'm just saying. Why in the fuck do I have...
Wendy.
Shoot it, you fucking clown. What in the... In what world? They need to they need to put Kaminsky in the game. He was good in college.
Oh, God, no. Not the god Kaminsky.
Mm-hmm. So did Heather tell you about that game that I found?
I've seen it before. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Looks like it'd be funny to watch you guys fucking play. It looks
Yeah,
like
it
something
looks
that
like a
would be
wild ride.
funny if we all just got fucking completely shit faced. I know you can, but we just get completely shit faced and fucking try and play that game. If the game,
Walked around.
if you don't know what we're talking about, everybody, it's called Gang Beasts, and it's a multiplayer game, and I don't know if it's cross-platform or not,
I don't know either.
but it looks like a I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. What the fuck? And I'm gonna have fucking Bryn Forbes is gonna be guarding fucking Darius Ayton. The fuck happened there? They're playing a zone, aren't they? Looks like it. Looks like it. Oh, they're playing man to man. That sucks.
The tides are turning.
You suck. Go! Dante DiVincenzo.
Like, what? What a stupid shot. Fucking Booker. Well, you're in the mode.
I'm in the mode. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, you got caught in reassigning shit.
Yeah, I did it again. No, fuck me. I'm guarding this fucking clown. What are you gonna do? Really? You fucking garbage piece of shit. Oh!
No, that was close.
So apparently we had a 2-year-old decide that she knows how to go out the fucking front door and ended up downstairs today.
Escape artist.
Yeah, she's like trying to run away from mom and dad. Are you trying to run away from mom and dad? Yeah.
Let me know next time I pack you a bag.
Look at these 3 fucking clowns. All right. So what else is going on in the world today?
I don't know, man. I've been like completely out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
there
really paying
hasn't
attention
really
much.
been too much. Just the everyday life, and then, I mean, the stuff with dad. And what the fuck? Oh my god. What in the fuck is this? Why is Bryn Forbes? Why is Giannis not in this game? For 3!
They're saving him. Maybe he's got foul trouble.
No! Might be hurt. Oh, there he is. Look at him. Just sitting there, shooting the shit. I'm going to go up by about 30 points here. I'm going to go on a big tear.
Okay, I was confused because like I was scrolling through Twitter and I got a lot like I'm looking like I mean fucking my timeline's flooded with wrestling shit, but I was wondering like people are like, oh yeah, 3 hours of wrestling or something on Friday. What are they talking about? I'm like
Rampage.
I'm not.
Rampage. So, AEW has a new show called AEW Rampage. And
It's an hour long. Or?
It's 1 hour. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's just a glorified episode. This week's episode was a glorified episode of, oh shit, was a glorified episode of Sunday Night Heat. Wasn't that great? I don't care. What's up, Chris? I don't care. AEW is not. I've been saying this for months now. Wrestling to me is all the same. There is nothing special about any one promotion anymore. Nothing. And people say, oh, but AEW does this. The same things WWE does. So what and they're mirroring exactly what fucking WCW did. Exactly the same thing. So AEW sucks. WWE, I watched that tonight. The first 15 minutes was okay, but
I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to wrestling, it's like if I was to talk to somebody that's an avid fan of fucking General Hospital and being like, oh man, this day's episode 2871 was probably the best episode of General Hospital. It was like 2 people talking in a room, which is every episode of fucking General Hospital. Like, like it's not. It's just too. It's always going to be too much of the same because there's a formula to it.
Right.
And it has to adhere to it to an extent to fill the time slot that it's filling. There's just too much of it. It's crazy for something to be. And I mean, okay. When I say what I'm saying, as unpopular as wrestling is, people are like, wrestling's super popular. Everyone loves. It's not, okay? Look at the actual view counts throughout all of wrestling. It's really not that popular when you compare it to any other thing on television.
Yep.
Reality TV blows it out of the water. All other sports blow it out of the water. Regular fucking TV shows blow it out of the water.
Yep.
It's not as popular as people think. And to have something that is as unpopular as it is, to be so widespread and constantly popping up
Mm-hmm.
in multiple versions, watering down the already unpopular programming
Right.
is crazy to me.
I'm with you. So, Christian beat Kenny Omega tonight. Now, I'm going to tell you this. He didn't beat him clean. He cheated. But Kenny Omega, look, I've said it numerous fucking times. Kenny Omega is one of the best performers, in-ring performers in the world right now. And I say in-ring performer because that's all he is. I still don't think he's better than Kazuchika Okada. In fact, there was this question today. Kazuchika Okada doesn't get enough credit. And I'm like, to be honest with you, Kazuchika Okada makes everybody else look better. While him looking good, he makes everybody else look better. To include the almighty Kenny fucking Omega. I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for Kazuchika Okada, Kenny Omega probably would just be another guy on another wrestling promotion doing flippy shit.
You know who Kenny Omega actually kind of reminds me of? And I've said this, I've drawn this comparison with this person for other people.
Mhm.
The more I think about it, the more I think it holds true. Rob Van Dam. A guy that can do it all in the ring, but when it comes to doing anything beyond that, mic-wise, he's limited
Oh my God, he's
to
terrible.
a very specific persona. Like he can't break out of the persona that he actually is without coming off completely unbelievable.
Yep. Nope, 100% agree. Kenny Omega has a mouthpiece in Don Callis. Like, Don Callis is somebody that I don't care for. He doesn't appeal. He was a great commentator in New Japan. And that's about it. As long as I don't have to look at his fucking face, his voice is fine. I can't stand looking at the guy. And if I have to see him, I don't want to listen to him talk because he looks like a fucking clown. I don't care what anybody says. AEW, they have really talented in-ring performers. I'm not going to deny that. And I don't think Basement will deny that. Some of them, yeah.
Sometimes they get caught in like certain tropes, but that's I think just like the nature of the business that they're in with AEW specifically. But yeah, their talent is undeniable. Some of the best wrestlers in the world work for AEW.
Yes. That being said, don't try to tell me that AEW is better than WWE, or in fact, don't even try to fucking compare the two because you can't. I had this conversation today. People are saying Vince McMahon can't handle fucking competition. In what world do you think the fucking AEW is in competition with WWE? You want to talk about wrestling? It's all the same. All wrestling is the same. In no way, shape, or form. And what I mean by this, and the difference between the two companies is, and I'm going to tell you right now, here is the difference between the two companies as it is today. One is using their own money. Tony Khan is spending his own money to keep this fucking promotion afloat. Whereas Vince McMahon is using WWE money that he has already made and spending said money. So you can't compare the two.
My big thing with AEW is AEW hasn't really turned. if you look at it in like if you look at it under a microscope, at times they've turned a profit, but overall they're net negative financially. AEW.
Yeah.
The main reason they are operating in negative is because they signed some deals with video games and things like that. That is a risky deal to me because gaming and the market for gaming, especially like wrestling gaming, the wrestling gaming fans demand a lot. They don't want another fucking WWE 2K, and they don't want another Super Brawlers or whatever the fuck it was called, the arcade shit.
Have you?
They want
And
something that they're
if
not.
I have, yep, Battlegrounds. Heather said Battlegrounds.
Yeah, and that's what they're gonna get. They're gonna get something a bit too arcadey for their like. I do not think they're gonna make, like they're gonna break even on their video game contract, which was like millions upon millions of dollars that Tony Khan has admitted, saying that he had to like wring his father's fucking coattails to get. And I think that's where they might hurt the largest. If they don't make money back on the video game contract, they will be operating for several years in a net negative. And
Mm-hmm.
how long is that going to go when the biggest thing that wrestling fans love are surprises and these big sets, things that cost money? You can't be spending money if you ain't making money. And it
Yep.
only works for so long in a business startup. I'm
Yep.
not saying that AEW doesn't have the potential to turn a profit, but you can't turn a profit if you're constantly spending.
Yep.
And that's what I'm seeing coming from them.
Yep.
Most people don't care about this shit because they're just like, oh, but the product's better and it's so much more fun. But man, you can have shows TV shows that we've all might have loved, but after one season discontinued because the cost is too high for the viewership.
Yep.
And AEW ain't a million people isn't fucking blowing the socks off anybody.
And it keeps dipping below that million people.
Well, it dipped below 1 million last week because of the Olympics, and I don't care what anybody says. The Olympics is dead. It killed WWE. It's who cares? I mean, I don't even know if WWE dropped their numbers dropped off that much, which tells me a whole lot. If AEW's numbers are dropping off, that tells you who is watching fucking AEW.
I don't even know who watches the Olympics because it's all fucking it's happening on the other side of the world, man. It's all recorded for the most part.
Right, but I mean, I still like to watch it. Like the Winter Olympics. I love the Winter Olympics. Like the Winter Olympics are my favorite Olympics. I like the hockey. In fact, that's why I got into hockey and love hockey is because of what happened in 1980. But I just one of those things, man. People seem to, and you hit on it. Everybody says wrestling is popular. But do you know why wrestling? Here's why everybody thinks wrestling is popular. It's because there's so many promotions.
Well, it's because their timeline is flooded with like-minded people.
Yes.
But you look at the numbers, and the numbers aren't fucking there to say wrestling is popular.
Not even
it's
close.
Like 700,000 people are watching it. You know it's popular. I'm like, man, there's fucking. I can show you millions of YouTube videos that have more than fucking 700,000 people watching them. So. Yes. Come on,
they're
man.
I don't know how many views they get on their AEW. I know AEW Dark. I don't know how many viewers they get. Like their viewership on that has got. I don't know how many viewers they get on average, but when they're drawing over 100,000 on YouTube for that just tells me a whole lot about the wrestling community as a whole.
They're watching on YouTube.
So, WWE has 80 million subscribers. And everybody's like, well, no, they don't have 80 million fans. I'm not saying they have 80 million fans, but think about this. WWE is they're global. AEW's not. So I'm telling you right now, when everybody talks about the fucking ratings, they mean shit. Because a lot of those people who love WWE are actually from other countries and they're watching everything on YouTube. Or they're watching it on their channel. I can tell you right, I can honestly tell you right now, there might be 11 million fucking fans of WWE. I can tell you there's probably not even half of that for AEW. Because people are so used to WWE, they don't care. WWE has a hold, and not a monopoly, but they have a hold on the wrestling world. Whether people fucking want to believe it or fucking not, WWE has a hold on it. And you can sit here and say it's a bad product. But I'm going to tell you right now, wrestling's all the fucking same. I can fucking put AEW and WWE next to each other, and they have they all have the exact same matches. You can't fucking tell me that they don't, because God, Giannis, I was gonna dunk that. But.
Man, half these countries on the other side of the world, like they didn't. I mean, first of all, they're not watching live,
No.
and half of them probably grew up on like their big brother or their father or whatever, showing them like a fucking DVD of WrestleMania 19 or something. They're probably more in tune with the older WWE stars, and you see it when they go to fucking Saudi Arabia and they want people that are dead to wrestle. Like they're not in tune with today's climate for wrestling.
Right.
Therefore, they don't. That's why you look at India and places like that. They're not. You don't have this huge fan base for any other wrestling promotion at
Yep.
all, in my mind, than WWE. You never hear them clamoring for anything else. You never hear their love for like death matches or super hardcore shit or NJPW or any of that.
Yep. I mean, I still say it to this day. New Japan is the best wrestling. If you want pure wrestling, go watch New Japan. But if you want to watch entertainment, go to WWE. If you want to get New Japan light, watch AEW. That's all I can fucking tell you. I mean, be a fan of what you want, but don't shove down my face that, oh, well, just because Vince McMahon's a piece of shit, AEW's better than WWE. Come on.
Well, I mean, these are the fans that are like they kill me, man. I go on there and it's like there's always this fucking narrative to hate on something or get rid of something, and it's like you realize that if you got rid of WWE, wrestling as a whole would probably die.
It would still be there, but it would still be there.
You know how many fans they would lose to because like WWE is what normally brings in more fans, or at least consistently brings in fans. It's the most known. It's like getting rid of the NBA and thinking like the WNBA would stay alive.
Well, believe it or not, there are people that fucking believe that.
It's just like you can't get rid of the majors
Can't.
and think all the minors would then thrive even more.
Yeah.
They wouldn't change. If anything, all the numbers would dip.
Good night, Cora. Thanks for being here.
Night, Cora. Yeah, I honestly think, and there's just like these people are just they kill me, man. I hardly go through my timeline, but then I see people getting upset about everything. Oh, the Baron Corbin's playing a character that's poor, and WWE's making it like a laughingstock. I'm like, it's a fucking fake show storyline, man. What do you watch where you don't get upset? Because you sound like somebody like this, somebody like that. Like, what the fuck? What do you watch that you can't have anything?
You want to try to play? I'll be right back.
Not really.
Go ahead, give her a shot. Squares to shoot. I'm right back.
All right. Watch me fuck this up, Riley. That would help if my guy was facing the right way.
Get the inbound, yeah. Oh no, that's him. But yeah, it's I mean, there's nothing that hasn't been said that's already. Well, we said everything basically about wrestling. We can't. It is what it is. I stay away from it for the most part, which kind of sucks because I do still enjoy moments in wrestling. Which is the thing that irks me the most. 'Cause sometimes I see like moments of Cena and Roman
I hit it
talking on
multiple
Twitter.
fucking
Hold it
times.
down.
Well, then you should have fucking told me that. Jesus Christ. Game I've never played. You expect me to know right the fuck away.
You should.
I should not. I should not.
I hear exactly what you're saying, and I am the same way. I actually watched SmackDown for the first time in 3 weeks. And it's actually been a pretty good show. Tonight's show, I've maybe watched...
That's more than me, so.
Yeah, I watched... The Bianca Belair and fucking Sasha Banks thing is just completely dumb. Like, I don't care. The Baron Corbin thing was pretty funny. So everybody's sitting here saying, "Oh, well, WWE's making fun of of poor people." What? The fuck are you talking about? What the fuck do you mean they're making fun of poor people? They're not making fun of anybody.
That's
They're
his
providing
character right now.
everybody. So the problem is everybody wants fucking Baron Corbin to fucking have his comeuppance, which is what he's getting. He's getting his comeuppance. They're not making fun of. They're making fun of a guy that had everything. Everything was given to him, and now he's falling off the face of the earth because he squandered his riches, and he's fallen on hard times because he's. They aren't fucking picking on fucking poor people. Knock it the fuck off. This Sasha Banks can kiss my ass. I fucking cannot stand Sasha Banks. I'm sorry, Chris. Sasha Banks to me is nothing but a character. She forgot where she actually made it. She's not what she once was. She has become. If you look at Charlotte, you look at Becky Lynch, you look at Bayley, they've become a character. They're not wrestlers anymore. The Sasha Banks and Bayley could never do what they did. And I'm saying this, I don't even think if they were in NXT they could do what they did today.
There was a glimpse for me. There's a glimpse when wrestling existed for me, and it existed in NXT for about 2 years, and it was during the actual women's revolution that was happening in NXT, and it existed during tag team. I'm gonna call it tag team revolution because they started fucking having tag team matches that were good and abided by rules, and then they had a bunch of singles talents that were world champion and also like IC title holders, or could be, right?
Right.
That existed for 2 years, and then it all went to shit. That was what got me back into wrestling after
Right.
being absent for 10 years, and then they took it all away and replaced it with nothing that I wanted to see.
Correct.
And
I'm
it
hearing
sucks
you.
because I don't understand, and I'm pretty sure it's unanimous between a lot of people that would say that that era of NXT is really what I think opened the doors for AEW wanting to create their own product, because that was a showcase right there. That was when NXT they pushed popularity on the main roster, and people were super excited to see guys go from NXT to the main roster. And that's before they put them in the main roster to do nothing with them.
Well, I'm hearing everything you're saying. I don't.
I don't know. There was an era where everything was just the way I wanted to. It was wrestling for me, and it felt like it. Everything they were doing was what I would like to see with characters I like to see, with simple storylines, with the payoff you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Most things lasted long enough to get the payoff you needed. Some things were a bit long in the tooth. The one thing that I worry now, looking at someone like Baron Corbin, they're gonna fucking bleed this dry until nobody gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because this angle doesn't have longevity. You could do this for maybe a couple months, then you have to start giving them something, right?
Right.
Some sort of redemption. They're gonna do this until fucking forever, until people stop caring.
Well, I hear you. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, it looks like Giannis is going to take over. Here we go. Here we go, folks. I'm down by 3 because apparently. Oh my god.
Well, you know what? NXT got fucking mined for talent for no reason because they didn't even use it. They took a bunch of talent away that should have stayed in NXT. They take people away and they bring people back. They'll take like 4 people away and bring 1 person back, and it's not enough. The women on NXT, that was the worst thing that could have happened, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
For women's wrestling in general, taking all of the women away from NXT all at the same time without a way to replenish, and it worked for about a year before they all became fucking Instagram models.
And like I said, they all became characters. Sasha Banks is more about what her character is
Well, they were
than what she can
characters
do
in
on the ring.
NXT. They were characters in NXT.
Yes, but but what my point is that they were wrestlers first. Yes, they were characters, but they were wrestlers.
I think you could be both.
They're
They're fucking Instagram models is what they became.
yeah, essentially just a character. They aren't even fucking wrestlers. Because look at Sasha Banks in her entrance. She looks like a stripper. Oh my god. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. Give me the fucking ball. Here we go. Jesus fucking Christ.
And I have no problem with somebody like embracing a character and being their character through and through.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is when the whole wrestling and character get put on the back burner for Mercedes taking photos of herself 90% of the time.
Half fucking naked.
She's more glamorized for her looks and for her appearances in other media
Than
than
her
what she's actually
abilities.
fucking than her job.
Yep. Than her
She's
abilities.
a wrestler,
Yep.
not a model, not a fucking part of the Star Wars franchise.
She's not. She's an insignificant character in a fucking
It's like
Star Wars.
look at the arc that The Rock went on to become what he eventually became, Mr. Hollywood. But that he went through the fucking work of it being an actual he went through years of being the best, one of the best wrestlers at the top of his game, not fucking disappearing and being absent for years, only to be taking photos in fucking Cabo, and then to all of a sudden be in Star Wars, and then to come back and be given a title. It's like, fucking eat my dick, man. I have no respect for the women in wrestling. They earned it, and then they lost it because they all became fucking hookers.
Yep. I hear you.
They all went to, my looks are gonna sell everything for me. Sex sells, sex sells. You can't say don't sexualize me and then fucking immediately rip off your fucking panties and shove your vagina in my face. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And you're so good at what you were doing, man.
Yep.
Like,
I haven't seen point.
I haven't seen any female wrestler on the roster get better than they were when they left NXT. None of them have improved in ring at all because none of them have prioritized in ring at all.
Yes. Charlotte's starting to fall into that same fucking category.
Well, Charlotte's become like fucking Brock Lesnar. She just disappears to get some sort of fucking transformation done to her body, comes back, is in the championship picture, disappears, comes back, championship picture. Like, what the fuck is this, man? The Rock is overrated. Well, it depends on
I think he's an
you're
overrated
referring
actor.
to.
I think he's an overrated actor.
I mean, he's not a great actor. He's like a Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He was pretty good. I'm not
The thing is, he could speak and he could work a match
this
enough. I think
motherfucker.
he always worked with people that worked harder than him in ring. I like when I say that, I mean would take a lot more bumps than he would.
Oh my god. Like, all of a sudden, at the end of a fucking game, I can't fucking stop somebody. The fuck is that? What do you mean? Look at this shit! Oh my god!
Becky is the one I probably have the most respect for because she's the only one, but she's also the one that the company fully went behind to give her more of a badass persona and stuff like that. Like, she's the one that prioritized wrestling above other things. Didn't do these other stupid shit. And I do have respect for Bailey. I just Bailey has a lot of limitations.
Mankind, Mick Foley can kiss my fucking rosy red ass. That's what he can do. Fuck that guy.
Mick Foley was good at taking hits, but like, I mean, wrestling wise, he's a terrible wrestler.
Mick Foley's a piece of shit. And I unfollowed that motherfucker a long fucking time ago on fucking Twitter because of his fucking shit that he fucking says. He's a fucking apologist for... I'm not even going to go into it. Because he's a fucking garbage ass piece of shit.
Mick Foley is like... He reminds me of... He's kind of like the personification of like white guilt.
The
guy is
he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I apologize for doing nothing, but I apologize.
Yeah, he's one of those fucking people that will fucking... He'll come out and he'll fucking say, I'm sorry that my family did what they did to you, even though we didn't do anything to you.
First of all, you don't even know
Shut the fuck up, Mick. No, don't fucking speak for me. Like,
but he's also got like a really strong liberal leaning and a very strong opinion on everything without really knowing what the fuck he's talking about half the time.
All the goddamn fucking concussions he fucking had.
The Rock couldn't swing a chair to save his
the
life.
one thing
Did you see after that match where he swung the chair 16 times into Mick Foley's head? And if you watch the actual documentary Beyond the Mat, Mick Foley was fucked up, man. In the back, like, he hit him multiple times very hard. Very hard. Too hard.
Right. As you can see right now, Phoenix was on a fucking tear that could not fucking miss a shot. Now.
But you know what? I think, like, you have to leave it up to the performers, because I can guarantee you Mick Foley is probably egging The Rock on. Hit me again, hit me again, hit me again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of guy he was. Throw me into the stairs. I'm not going to hit the stairs like John Cena with my shoulder. I'm going to hit it with my fucking knees and fly all over the place.
Right.
He was too stiff. I think that's on Foley, man.
It is.
Chris, I honestly think it's on Foley, because Foley there's say ease up, or I can almost guarantee the person taking the shots is the one, especially if you're going to take that many, say something.
Fuck was
He's
that?
probably just egging him on to hit him again and again and again.
I Mick Foley. The one thing that I will give Mick Foley credit for is he was a great storyteller. That's it.
He was he was a guy that was able to play multiple characters, which is they're all weird, but they worked, I guess. He was very much a guy of that era, and I will give him respect for the damage he took, because Jesus Christ,
Mm-hmm.
he
But
made wrestlers
as a person, he can fucking kiss my ass.
like he's one of the reasons he made part of what the Undertaker was in that Hell in a Cell match. He also helped make multiple wrestlers along the way for the way that he put his body on the line. But I mean, this is where when I think of wrestlers of the past, or wrestlers in general, I think about what I enjoy from them in the ring and the character they are. I don't think about them on fucking Twitter acting like fucking cunts. The separation needs to exist.
Yep. Oh my god. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. The thing is, Almighty, and I'm pretty sure anybody that's on, there's a huge dichotomy between
You
people
fucking
nowadays.
cocksucker.
People are either one way or the other, when in all reality, most people are actually in the middle somewhere. But on Twitter, people tend to be one way or the other in their beliefs and everything. It's like, how do you fully 100% believe in one thing? The only way you do is if you're a fucking moron.
This is going to be an interesting finish, folks. Why are you following, you fucking shithead? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, that would make sense.
No.
Yeah,
How?
man.
It's not what I want.
I wouldn't foul him, but I mean, if you ran the clock down and they took a last second shot,
Oh shit, he missed. Oh my god. All right. This is probably dumb on my part, but okay. Jesus. Timeout Bucks. Finally, the motherfucker calls it timeout.
You know what? I like Kevin Owens, but please, Lord, get him to stop doing the stunner.
Yeah,
I hate his stunner. I hate his stunner so much, and I hate he doesn't need to be borrowing anything from anybody else.
Right. No, he doesn't need it. What do you think I should do, Basement? Get the ball to Giannis and let him do his thing?
Giannis, you want to run down the clock if you can. But good luck.
All right. Giannis it is. Somebody else can fucking hit a shot. The player of the game is Chris Paul.
Chris, that's not true. The reason we wouldn't be having this conversation back then is because we wouldn't have the exposure to the business we have now. The internet, the dirt sheets, all this other shit. People watch mainly for entertainment. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know this, that, or anything else. It was very different watching wrestling then versus it is now. A lot better.
All right. I hear you, Chris. I mean, I'm sorry I'm focusing on the game here, but I personally, the reason that Stone Cold Steve Austin's stunner worked.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? I thought he was hitting that because I was trying to think of my thought. Stone Cold Steve Austin's stunner worked because it fit his persona. With Kevin Owens, the pop-up power fits his persona. He doesn't need somebody else's finisher to make himself look good. Kevin Owens is a made man. Believe it or not, he is. I mean, Vince McMahon probably would never have let him do what he did to him inside the ring if he didn't think that Kevin Owens would, not only that, but that Kevin Owens wasn't the guy that could fucking, oh, that was beautiful, that could pull that off. So, I mean, I think Kevin Owens, he when he goes with the character, he does something, he goes all out. It's just the stunner just doesn't look right with him. And I'm not saying, oh my God, I wouldn't say that he doesn't do it right, because there's really no wrong way to do a stunner. I just think that it's just he doesn't need to use it, if that makes sense. That's all I think. I mean, I watched him use it tonight. It didn't look any different than Austin's. It just doesn't fit his character. He doesn't need it.
That's the thing. It doesn't fit his character. And I also find Kevin Owens' character to be pretty lacking recently. He's been treading water for too long. He kind of needs a bigger direction for him.
Yeah, they need to do something with him, or he's going to be a casualty, just like who just got released?
Well, a couple people, a lot of people.
Well, who was the guy from NXT that just got released that nobody ever thought?
Bronson Reed. I don't really care for him.
Bronson Reed was never going to last in WWE.
I looked at him and I looked at him being an absolute failure on the main roster. Like he doesn't have the comedic aspect of what's his face, the guy that does the worm.
Otis.
Yeah, he doesn't have that, and he's a bowling ball. You're not going to get much out of him.
I mean, he was okay.
He doesn't.
And also, go ahead.
He didn't have enough for me to care. I didn't see any like great athleticism or anything from him. He was just there. At best, he'd be a part of a tag team that'd be forgotten in my mind.
Why is there a dislike? I don't give a fuck if there's a dislike. I have an inkling as to why there's a dislike, but I don't care. I don't care if there's a dislike. My balls, your chin. Dislike. I don't care. Good night, Killer Kingdom. What were we talking about? I was reading the chat for a second. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you don't drink for a while.
My worry with Kevin Owens is he's not doing what Seth Rollins has done, which is a slight reinvention of character. He hasn't really done anything to his character, yet his character has gone relatively nowhere. And I like all he's dipped between is the pussy version of Kevin Owens and the fight Owens fight version.
Yes.
Oh, 5-year fucking main roster run or whatever it's been.
Sami Zayn can go away. I could give a shit about Sami Zayn. I'm just going to throw that out to everybody. Not a fan. He's another one of those fucking guys. Not saying he can't fucking wrestle, but he's a shitty fucking person. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to speak about on that. I know he's from Canada, but I don't give a fuck about his. I don't give a fuck about any celebrity that fucking says we should do this, that, or the other thing, telling me how I should fucking do shit. Can just kiss my fucking ass. I'm gonna do what I want to do because that's the person that I am. I treat everybody with the same amount of respect until you cross me. That's all I'm gonna say. So don't tell me that I need to fucking hate somebody because, which is why I have a problem with Mick Foley, because he thinks they're a bad person. I don't care. what Mick Foley thinks. And everybody pretty much knows who I'm talking about. So I don't agree with everything the guy did, but he had our economy going in the right fucking direction. And if you can't fucking accept that, I don't know what to tell you. The only reason our economy took a shit is because of the fucking pandemic. And I'm just going to tell you this now. This vaccine, and I'm going to say it again, this vaccine isn't going to do shit to stop anything. We just had a soldier test positive who had the vaccine. He does not have the variant.
I think from my understanding, the whole purpose of the vaccine was just to stop the severity of symptoms that people get.
Oh,
a lot of stupid people.
He's full on. He's got all the regular fucking symptoms. There is no.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was to stop like people from ending up in the ICU. That's my understanding. But a lot of stupid people out there are like, no, it provides you immunity. I mean, you got to be one of the dumbest motherfuckers in the world to believe that. But
I mean, the most immunity that it provides.
There's no such thing. Like a vaccine is not immunity giving. You take the flu shot. What do you think? You're never gonna get the flu? Like fuck's sakes, man.
Yeah, you can still get the flu.
It's a different type of virus than something like polio or something like that doesn't transform or change over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different type of virus. People are just they'd rather stay uneducated and angry than learn a thing or two and shut the fuck up.
Right. The immunity that builds up and is just the basement said it. You just won't get as sick from it. But this guy's full on. He's not doing the greatest. He's not going to, but he's in the hospital.
It's the thing. I guess that what I'm saying is like you can't. I mean, statistically, what they're going to look at is the overwhelming amount of people that get it versus the overwhelming amount of people that end up in the ICU. Where that after a whole population has been vaccinated,
right?
You can never really look at like an individual, like say, oh well, this is a person I know, because that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Because obviously they might be one of the people that still get fucked. It happens. And Chris, history repeats itself. It always does. But I mean that. Like I guess at like a very basic level, you can say that there's always going to be changes, like you're looking at like in the environment and stuff like that, or like the way the world works, that make that slightly different.
Oh, this motherfucker follows me, fucking douchebag.
The Battle of the Bite. I've never even heard of that.
Should I get Giannis off the floor?
You have 11 seconds.
I know, but he's at the free throw.
Yeah, he's got to shoot him, or else he's out of the game.
I could care less.
You can make it. I believe in you.
That's one.
Boom.
I'm really anxious about this shot. Almost like the fucking game. All right, we're good. Now, don't foul. Let him take a shot. Winner, chicken dinner. I scored like 1,000 points in this game.
JP, have you heard of the Battle of the Bite?
What's that?
I don't know. But it was basically like Chris was saying, it's like the precursor to the Montreal Screwjob. It was what happened in the past that was akin to it, I guess. This is what my point is. That might be a similar situation, but the overall popularity comparison between when the Montreal Screwjob versus the Battle of the Bite. I don't know. It's just because the world's changed. Certain things are similar, but certain things are somewhat different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so my and I don't want to go into a thing about fucking Bret Hart. I think Bret Hart he's just like Kenny Omega. He's good. He was really good in ring, but he didn't really make me fucking like I need to watch this guy every fucking week, because if you watched Bret Hart, he would put on a 45-minute match of rest holds. And I know that Kenny Omega, there was a tweet out there, Kenny Omega said, everybody seems to think that a good wrestler has 45 minutes of rest holds. But you are in a match. The match with Christian Cage tonight was okay, but it wasn't great. Christian Cage didn't look great. Kenny Omega made Christian Cage look good, but even Kenny Omega didn't look great. Kenny Omega over exaggerates everything. Like when somebody, like, you know, when somebody rolls out of the ring or slides out of the ring and then he slides out of the ring and then he does that exaggerated, I gotta stop my momentum, and he kicks his leg out to turn. He just looks like a fucking clown at times, Kenny Omega does. Now, that's just me. But Bret Hart has that same aura to him. I have to go back and watch the match, Chris. I don't know if there's a match out there. I really don't know. 1931, my grandfather might, but he's dead. So I don't know. I don't know how.
But I mean, even when the Montreal Screwjob happened,
Right.
I didn't look at it as the Montreal Screwjob. It was just another match, and it went down a certain way.
Well, I don't
didn't
even
really
think it
get
was
the
a screw
insight.
job. I'm going to tell everybody. I think Vince
No,
did.
but
I think
I
Vince was
think-
right.
I think Bret Hart had like ridiculous fucking. In what world are you leaving a company you want to hold the title and just give it up afterwards? Come on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and with the Montreal screw job. Everybody says, "Oh, Bret got screwed." Actually, Vince is right. Bret screwed Bret.
But I wonder the percentage. Okay, because this was in an era. I wonder the percentage of fans that watched that and were like, "Oh my God, they're screwing him." It didn't. The behind the scenes shit didn't exist.
No.
For 99% of the people watching, they just thought he lost, and that's that, and he was upset because of it. It's not this detective mode into wrestling didn't exist then. It really didn't, and it
No.
was so much better for it. So though it might be the same as this bite or whatever, is it really?
Right. So my thing is, and if I was alive in 1931, I probably would have probably enjoyed the match. Wrestling today bores the shit out of me. It literally bores the fuck out of me because I've seen it. If you watch wrestling, and even AEW, they do the exact same thing every fucking time. They might do it in different sequences, but is that really different? Is that really fresh? It's not.
What they need to do is focus on making their product that's fake look as real as possible. Instead of fucking flipping around and getting drop kick and getting up in 2 seconds, like the art of selling and making a fight look as drawn. So when I watch wrestling, And I look at some of the older matches that I've watched. There was an art to people selling where they would take a hit and they would slowly get up, or they would sell the leg injury. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin, for as fucked up as his body was, and has as much as he was kind of like, we don't want you to sell too much because we want you to be like this big bad. He did a pretty good job of selling throughout every match he was in.
Right. I'm not a huge wrestling historian. I love wrestling. I've watched wrestling since 1979. My very first match that I've watched, if some of you have known, was Hulk Hogan versus Nick Bockwinkel for the AWA World title. That was my very first match that I sat down and watched with my grandfather at the age of 7, I think it was. I'm 48 now. I don't know everything about the business, but I kind of have an understanding of what, and I've always known wrestling was fake, just so everybody fucking knows. My grandfather told me, he's like, this stuff is fake. So don't go beating the shit out of your fucking brother. You know what I mean? Don't try and suplex him because you might hurt him. Even though I did suplex my brother once. It was actually kind of funny. Did it through a coffee table. But what are you going to do? So I've always known it was fake. So there's that. I can appreciate the kayfabe era when kayfabe was actually a thing. What I appreciate is, if you want to tell me a story, if you really want me to be involved with wrestling, and we all know wrestling is all these people sit in the back, and they're sitting back in catering before they even go out there, and they're talking and they're shooting the shit. They're having a beer after the fucking show and all this shit. I know that. I get it. But here's the thing. It's just like a movie. It's just like a movie. It's just like a show. If you want me to believe that fucking Baron Corbin and Kevin Owens are going to have a match, now let's say that they're, or let me better analogy. Roman Reigns and John Cena, they don't like each other, right? They're going to wrestle at SummerSlam, and it's this is the end of an era fucking match again. You can see what they're doing. I personally would, if Roman Reigns was actually good at fucking cutting a promo, I could get behind him 100%. What Roman Reigns has been doing over the last 6 months has been good. But I don't know. There's something about John Cena that just, when it comes to cutting a promo against him, he just cannot fucking do it. He stuttered like 4 times tonight trying to spit shit out, because you can tell Roman Reigns really wants to be that guy. But every time John Cena says something to him, he just can't answer the call. John Cena fucking buried him again. Told him his teeth looked like fucking bars of soap. And he just looked at John Cena and had that, well, I'm Roman Reigns fucking look.
The thing is, Roman Reigns doesn't think quick enough to come up with a rebuttal. A lot of his rebuttals, or what he's saying, is like, he always leans on his talking points.
Mm-hmm.
Of, I am the tribal chief. You're going to respect me.
That's exactly what he went back to. It's like, come on, man. He just called you a soap-looking motherfucker. And you come back.
He's not good at thinking on his feet. He really isn't.
If you want me to believe that you are the actual real thing, throw away the bullet points. Throw away the fucking scripted bullshit.
You can't do
John
it.
Cena probably came up with that on his fucking own and threw it at you,
John
and you
Cena
had no fucking response for it.
John Cena's in a completely different league. It's
Yes.
John Cena, The Rock.
Yep.
Those are the two guys that they're in a different league in terms of like
Oh,
talking
Stone Cold
points.
too.
Like
Stone Cold too. I would put Stone Cold right up
Stone
there.
Cold up there.
Mhm.
But like Roman Reigns just doesn't have it. He doesn't have what Roman Reigns, and he might never have it. He just doesn't have the inclination to be very good at improv or anything like that. He's just very always go back to Old Faithful.
If it is somebody that cannot, if it is somebody that isn't as quick-lipped as you know what I mean. If it
They
isn't,
kind of set him up to fail by putting him up against John Cena and just telling John Cena to go at him.
yeah. Which I think Roman Reigns is losing the title. I think he needs to be. They haven't had it to where he's been knocked down a notch. He needs to realize, oh, maybe I'm not. Because right now, Roman Reigns, and I think this is really what he thinks, just by the way his demeanor is, he thinks he is the shit. He can't be touched. But if he was in the era when John Cena was really fucking good, he would just be another fucking Bray Wyatt to John Cena. I don't think Vince would say, yeah, this is my guy. I think he would stick with John Cena. Why? Because John Cena can do it all. He may not be as great in ring as Roman Reigns, but he can talk, and the kids love him. I just said it. The kids love John Cena, which
the thing
is
is
why
he can talk and be entertaining to more than just the kids. He can be entertaining to anybody, without being like super cheesy. It happened for a while there where they tried to turn him too PG, but he doesn't need to be that guy. Like in the end, that match is not going to be very good. I can tell you right now, it's going to be so heavily saddled with fucking FUs and spears and shit like that.
Yep. Well, I can tell you it's probably going to be like the match that they had a few years ago.
It's going to be 10 minutes long and be nothing but finishers.
Yep.
That's my personal opinion. Because John Cena's getting up there now, and he doesn't wrestle very often, so he's going to go to that old formula of he's got 5 moves to do him. It might even be 3 moves.
And everybody wanting to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. If you think that John Cena,
that would be not a good match at all.
It would not. The Rock would make him look about this fucking big because he would. The Rock is just like John Cena and maybe just a little bit better in a situation like this because then he can throw that family thing at you. He's like, I gave you the keys and you dropped them. And I mean, he would literally. John Cena, the first time that them two met, John Cena fucking buried him on the microphone, which is what WWE is all about. Even though fucking Roman Reigns won the fucking wrestling match, John Cena fucking destroyed him. If you thought that was bad, The Rock would fucking kill him. Roman Reigns might actually set the mic down, turn around, walk out of the ring, and said, Vince, I can't do this. I really, Roman Reigns would probably walk away from WWE saying, I cannot cut a promo with these people. And Vince would look at him and says, we tried. Next.
They don't have anybody that fits the mold both physically and
Correct.
On the mic. They've had people that were able to work it on the mic that just weren't up to it physically, and they have people physically that just can't work it on the mic. They got lucky and hit gold multiple times with The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena.
Yep. I mean, Well, they got Randy Orton. Randy Orton's another one. I mean, he's a little bit. I mean, he was pretty good, but he's so
He's
methodical.
a little bit more cut and dry. Not I guess like John Cena and The Rock could be heels, faces, doesn't really matter what they are. But
Hmm.
they got really quick wit that very few wrestlers have.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
Chris,
Heather's
I mean
exactly right. People didn't know
that's
that. People don't know that about John Cena. The era of John Cena was scripted until they found out that he could rap. Because he came out and they talked about, didn't they talk about that? Where he came out and he said they didn't know, they didn't think I could do it. And then this one time I just started rapping on the bus and fucking Stephanie's like, let this guy go. John
it's
Cena was
so
the
weird too
last guy to let do
because he looks like the most prototypical white bread American.
that.
Like this big, heavy jaw. He looks like a fucking Neanderthal.
Well, that's the funny part. When Bruce first brought him in, this turned around, looked at Bruce, and said, "Get the walking billboard for steroids out of this building."
I
Yeah.
know he looks like
So
such a fucking
so
clown.
I love John Cena. I think he was at the time you had John Bradshaw Layfield and you were looking for that next big face to take down this fucking big cocksucker heel. And he was it. And they hit gold with John Cena. Now you look at John Cena, and this is why people got sick of John Cena's because every match looked the same, and he kept doing the same things, and
They
blah
Hulk
blah
Hogan'd
this,
him.
blah blah that. He could still cut a promo on the best of the best, but you just still the fucking match was the same every time. The five moves
I
of
don't
death.
think, Chris. I don't think you take the script off fucking Roman Reigns. I don't think Roman Reigns has the. He's not. He doesn't have it, man. He just doesn't have it. I've never even seen a glimpse of it. He doesn't have anything close to the wit and the response time that Cena or The Rock would have. Roman Reigns
Got a
just
couple years.
it
He's
just
got.
ain't there, man.
He's been given, and John Cena said it tonight. 10 years ago, they gave you the fucking reins, and you still haven't fucking done it. 10
What
years,
we see
man.
with him, what we see with him is what we get. I'm gonna say he's closer to a Kevin Nash than he is to anything else.
Yes, I can agree with that.
And it's not bad. It's just
Yeah,
bad when that's the
I
top of
mean,
the ladder.
Vince loved Kevin Nash. He was Vince's champion for a long fucking time. Until he lost the title to who did he lose the title to? Didn't he lose it to Bret? Yeah, he lost it to Bret Hart.
I would say, okay, if you look at the current roster,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Kevin Owens is probably one of the best mouthpieces they have. Samoa Joe was up there too before he went away to NXT. But Kevin Owens is someone that I think they could just let go and talk. But he's missing, like, he's floundered for too long for me to care
Yeah.
if they do anything with him. And I can't think of anybody else that really can perform at that level. I mean, people might say Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins is just too safe, man. He never goes beyond a certain level of conversation.
This is true. I mean, he's got a match with Edge at SummerSlam. I think them two could have a great match.
They'll
Although
probably have the match of the night, to be honest.
Edge is almost fucking 50 years old. So how much? And this is,
But it's saying something when that match will be better than the Roman Reigns John Cena match. I can
I
guarantee that.
agree. I agree. Um, here's honestly what I see happening, and everybody doesn't see it, but I can see it happening. I can see fucking John Cena beating Roman Reigns, and then Edge beating John Cena for the title.
Yeah,
Think
I could
about
see
that for
that being like a match at Survivor Series
me.
or Royal Rumble, depending on Cena's schedule and Edge's life.
Well, they're not having Survivor Series anymore, it looks like.
What?
Oh, they got rid of it.
I think there's something else scheduled in place of Survivor
Really? I did
Oh,
not.
I saw it today, and I don't know if this is true. They're doing King of the Ring, and the finals is taking place in Saudi Arabia. Why does anybody
So,
care if that's the
so
case?
I don't care. The Queen of the everybody. Well, what about Queen of the Ring? You're gonna get a Queen of the Ring, and I really don't give a shit.
Oh, good. I don't even care about the King of the Ring, for fuck's sakes, because it doesn't amount to anything anyway. I can't. I don't know. I just don't care.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. Like I said, wrestling to me has become background noise essentially.
Well, in WWE main roster, we have a bunch of guys that are good enough to hold the IC title, fighting for the main championship.
I mean, well, and Shinsuke just won the IC title tonight.
I don't really care for Shinsuke Nakamura.
I
Honestly,
do.
He's so watered down
I
in terms
agree.
of what
That
he
I
can
can
do in the
agree
ring.
with. It was a shocker that he won. We'll see. I mean, I agree with you 100%. He is watered
I
down,
really liked him until I didn't, and then I never liked him again.
right?
Because like he was good in NXT because they allowed him to hit a bit harder. But once you take the strong style away, what do you really have? Just a fucking weirdo.
You are correct. He has Bugenhagen with him, which them
Boogs.
two do have a pretty good chemistry. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty entertaining when those two are out. I mean, I will tell you this: I love Pat McAfee on commentary. Just the way he acts when like certain things, like when Shinsuke's music comes on, he fucking emulates fucking Shinsuke. I mean, he's funny. And I don't mind that from a commentator because you don't see him doing it all the time. But when you see him do it, it's fucking hilarious. Because he's like, it looks like he's jerking off. It's fucking hilarious. Makes me laugh. And I needed a laugh. Pat McAfee makes me laugh. But he's not
If
bad
only
on
he could.
commentary. He's not
If
bad
only he
on
could.
commentary either. Because he'll throw historical facts at you. And I don't know if he's got somebody talking in his ear, but he'll throw.
That's his own knowledge.
I think he's throwing historical facts at people back in 1990. I mean, he'll throw shit from 1988. I heard him do it. It's fucking great. I don't mind that. To me,
No, in fact, tonight, not just with Shinsuke, when Seth came out, Pat McAfee, at the right time, Pat, you know what Seth is going to do, right? And then pause in the music, and then he started again, and Pat McAfee was just burning down.
well, it's just the little things with Pat McAfee. Like they did a history thing with Seth Rollins about his, and they were building up to it about him fucking doing the fucking cash in. What Seth Rollins? They're pushing Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is gonna somewhere in here is gonna get a title shot, and he's gonna end up winning the title again. And they're gonna go right back to the fucking what was his
The architect?
the architect. Well, not the architect. Because
He only had one
no.
really good persona. Everything else I could care less about.
I mean, I think Seth Rollins is great as far as he's a good wrestler. He's one of the better wrestlers in the world today. But I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and say that Seth Rollins is the shit because he's not.
He has all the tools, but for some reason they never come together.
No. They did it one time.
Yeah, for like half a year, maybe, I think.
Like
I can't remember how long it was.
His first world championship run is when he was really fucking good.
Yeah.
But then
I mean, again,
your
champion's only going to be as good as your challengers, and they didn't really do anything for him.
Yeah, Sting.
Great. Then he killed him.
What you want to know? What really fucking annoyed me? Everybody, this is why and going back to AEW. I watched that match with Darby Allin and this fucking kid that looked like a fucking dime store fucking Bob Backlund.
Backed by Everrise,
Backed by they're called 2.0, which is they were backed by their dime store Young Bucks bullshit. If you know who Everrise, you know who Everrise is. They were in NXT, and who did they? They didn't emulate fucking Shawn Michaels or the Rockers. It was who?
They were trying to be a mix of the Young Bucks and the Hardys.
Oh, okay, they were trying, yeah, but they had the mouth of the Young Bucks, and they had the
outfits of the Young Bucks.
Yes, they
were basically the shitty version. I can't stand the Young Bucks. I actually hate them. Like I hate everything about them.
I'm with you.
These
I think they're
cocky
over.
Fucking dweebs.
Yep. I don't. Everybody says, "Oh, they're the best tag team in the world." No, they're not. They're not.
Show me a match that's gonna blow my socks off. And are they fucking? No. Are they what? Are they drop kicking each other? Like in the air? Like everything they do is like no impact. Garbage fest, flying all over the place, looking like fucking 40-year-old lesbians.
Look at their finishing move. Their combined finishing move is called a Meltzer driver, and it's literally
they're just such fucking fans of themselves. I can't. They're fans. They're too. I hate them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I really hate about them.
So Sting, Darby Allin beats this guy, and then Everrise, or as they're called, 2.0, come into the fucking ring and start attack Darby Allin. Well, Sting pulls both of these guys that are half his fucking age and beats the fuck out of them. Like, Sting is 63 fucking years old. Like, come on, man. But you got this young talent and you're using Sting to beat the fuck out of people, two guys half his fucking age, who could probably fucking run circles around this guy because the guy moves slow. You can see that he moves fucking slow because he walks like he needs a fucking walker. I love Sting. Sting is one of my favorite guys when I was younger. But now, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see Christian Cage wrestle. I don't want to see fucking Chris Jericho wrestle anymore because he's not the same fucking person that he once was. Everybody says, "Oh, he's great." No, the fuck he's not. Everybody around him is younger and quicker, and they make him look that good. But you have to wrestle at his pace because he can't fucking keep up. MJF, everybody talks about MJF being this great promo cutter. John Cena would fucking bury him in 2 seconds. Dead. Dying.
And I personally fucking do not give a flying shit about MJF in the ring.
No!
I think he is so subpar in ring that it does, like, you might as well shut the fuck up because he can't back up anything. As a in-ring performer, it's like he's like a year removed from fucking wrestling school. Like when I see him wrestle, it's terrible. It's like really fucking boring.
It is. And I do like Chris Jericho. I think he has a mind for the business. He really does. He's trying to make something of MJF, but I don't think MJF gets it. I really don't think he gets it. And it's not because of the fucking storyline. I just really don't think MJF... I think MJF is checking them boxes.
MJF he shows really well until you realize he's a one-trick pony.
Yes. And this storyline that they're fucking doing, they've done this already. They've done this. But
I know, and I hate
think
it.
People are so blind to the fact of what they're doing. It's, come on. Please tell me, what is great? What is one great? It's paralleling the fucking MJF and fucking Cody Rhodes storyline. And you can't tell me it's not.
Horseshit. that was such horse shit because like it built up this whole redemption arc for Cody Rhodes to beat the living fuck out of MJF, and what happened? It was one of the worst matches I've ever seen. Well, not really, but like it was a terrible match. MJF versus Cody. When he finally got his hands on him, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a couple regular wrestling moves to you." No, you need to fucking beat the living. He put you through a gauntlet of like terrible things,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna wrestle him like just another Sunday Night Heat.
Yep. It was terrible. It was terrible, man.
Cody Rhodes can fuck off, man.
Yeah,
That guy
Cody
is.
Rhodes
I can't.
can.
In what world do you take? Oh, I'm going to take my shoe off now. Like this guy wants to be the biggest. He wants to do everything that every big name wrestler did before he's like 38. I don't know how old he is, but for some fucking reason, he wants to be.
Yeah, he's the same age as Heather, so he's like 30.
He wants to be retired and out of the business 5 years ago. Like,
Sorry.
I don't understand. I don't understand why he.
I know you
limits himself from fighting for a championship, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna retire because I lost randomly. It doesn't even make any fucking sense.
He never. So this Malachi Black storyline, and I know Gina and I in Basement, we got into a little bit of a disagreement about him. I'm gonna tell you right fucking now. He is using WWE as a catapult because he's like, I was in an institution. What institution do you think that fucking is? Why do you think he... And you can just tell by the way he's telling his story, he's shitting on WWE. They had an opportunity. I'm going to tell you right now. Everybody sits here, oh, Vince doesn't like him. No, Vince actually loved that guy. But then he gets to the main roster. The worst fucking thing that they could have done with Aleister Black, and I said it, is had him speak. He should have been, and I'm not saying that he is the Undertaker. We had this discussion. He is not the Undertaker, but I'm going to tell you right now, they should have treated him like the Undertaker and not had him say very many words. If any at all, because his aura was enough. He had enough charisma to where he didn't need to say a fucking word.
See, the problem is the more I look into that character archetype, the more I see problems with it longevity-wise.
Oh, I agree.
I can get behind like what he was doing in NXT, you know, rising from the grave with the candles coming in, kicking ass, not really saying anything, doing the cross-legged stuff. It worked, but then the longer I think about it, it's like, how long will that work until you got to do something else with him?
Mm-hmm.
And what can you potentially do with him after that? He doesn't have the mystique or size or freakish athleticism that The Undertaker had. So like there's a lot of question marks, and I think this is kind of like a lot of people fall in love with the character without looking past the point of what happens in 2 years, 3 years. Where do we go with this guy, and are we how much like flexibility do we have in storyline building if we're working with one guy that won't talk ever really and just show up and kick people and leave? Like,
Right.
There's only so much storyline you can really get out of that character before you got to do something with him. And once you do something with him, he might just be dead in the water.
Yep. Give me a minute. I'm sorry. Captain sneezes a lot.
I agree with that, Chris. Like I think that's what I said too. Like he'd be more part of the ministry, or like he's a perfect like enforcer to like a Dark Covenant
Agreed.
grouping. So like the Dark Order, if they had a solid leader that wasn't this round clown with a mask on, like if they had like a solid leader for that faction,
Right.
he'd be a good like secondary enforcer for them.
That was actually me, Chris. That was
fail
actually me. That was actually me, Chris. I responded to you. I have control of the channel tonight, so I'm horny good. But yeah, I used to stream wrestling, like Monday, Tuesday. I even tried streaming AEW and I just couldn't do it. I just like really that's too much. There's too much. Everybody says it's a great time to be a wrestling. That's all right, man. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, but it can also be a bad time to be a wrestling fan because there's too much fucking wrestling.
I mean, if I was to
There
go back
is such a
into,
thing as too much fucking wrestling because wrestling is wrestling. You can only do so much with wrestling, right?
if I was to go back into watching or reviewing wrestling, I don't think I'd go back into like a watch along for wrestling, but to watching and reviewing wrestling, I'd have to pick. This is the product and the specific thing we're watching. So I'm either watching WWE main roster, I'm
Mm-hmm.
either watching that, or I'm watching NXT, or I'm watching AEW, or I'm watching Impact. I'm not watching all of them. It will never happen. And if something like AEW, the reason I would be so hesitant to cover AEW is because though it doesn't force me to watch other things, it pleads with me to watch Impact, Dark, and all these other fucking shits that I don't care to watch.
Right. Yeah, I too much for me anymore. I have more time in my day. I would rather watch a baseball game than wrestling. And football's, excuse me, right around the corner. So I have that to look forward to. I can watch that rather than wrestling. I've accepted the fact that wrestling is not for me anymore. I will still check it out. Like
I enjoy
I'll watch the pay per
pieces.
views. I'll watch the pay per views, but I'm not gonna stream it.
I agree with like the thing is I'll watch WWE main roster pay-per-views, and I'll probably maybe depending on the card check out NXT pay-per-views now because NXT for me is kind of not where it needs to be.
No.
The only reason I'm watching the main roster pay-per-views and the main well, let me rephrase that. I will watch SummerSlam, I will watch Royal Rumble, I will watch WrestleMania, and I'll probably watch Survivor Series. I won't watch every fucking WWE pay-per-view because I don't care about 90% of them. But the big ones
I
I'll
mean,
always watch.
so I agree with that. I might even stream. Like I will try to stream all the major pay per views. Like I didn't stream WrestleMania this last time because I can't even remember why I
Uh, it's
didn't.
two, it was
It's
two
something going.
nights and it was monstrously long.
Well, not only that, but we were out of town that day anyway.
I think yeah, it fell on like someone's birthday or something for you guys. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, it was my nieces and my brothers. I think that isn't that what it was, Heather?
I don't think the interest was there because of the no fans as well.
Yeah, I mean the fans being back is great, but me personally, I don't think they're adding anything to the programming right now. It's been so long since the fans have been back. I don't even pay attention to the fans at all. I never have in the first
I
place.
think
But
I think they add to the atmosphere, but the thing is, the
yes,
wrestling has to provide reason for an atmosphere.
hmm
And if you don't get that, like the thing is, they can add or they can detract. And I hate watching wrestling where these two wrestlers are trying to cut promos on each other. It's not really falling, and then you have the crowd yell random shit like "We want Wyatt, we want CM Punk." It's like okay, well now
oh,
like all you're doing is hurting what I'm saying. I hate it even more.
so I called that. I knew he was going to end up getting released at some point because his gimmick had run its course. And everybody's like, oh, well, he was the greatest thing in WWE. Well, if he was the greatest thing in WWE, then why the fuck did he get released?
Here's my question for anybody that loves Bray Wyatt. What is your favorite Bray Wyatt match?
There
And
isn't.
what's a memorable Bray Wyatt match that's not memorable for the wrong reasons?
Well, I was
I'm
just
not
going to
saying
say
he.
the
I'm not
only
saying
one
he.
that's memorable is the one with him and Seth Rollins, where he got fucking buried under fucking a pile of shit.
And the thing that sucks is, I'm not saying he can't wrestle. He was just so fucking drowned down in gimmicky bullshit that he wasn't given the opportunity to be a wrestler anymore. He
Mm-hmm.
was more like, you're gonna be fucking Michael Myers. That's what we want from you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I will probably try to do SummerSlam. I don't think I'm going to. Um, but if I do stream wrestling, it will probably be one of the big four. I will not stream AEW because I don't care. I'm not invested enough into it. Um, New Japan, like I don't mind. I haven't watched the New Japan show in a while. Again, not because I don't like it. It's just I
From what
haven't.
I
They
hear,
haven't.
it's
I haven't
floundering
seen
anyway.
anything that I really care to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the New Japan got in big problems when a lot of the American talent left, and
Yep,
then COVID hit, and they haven't really built
recovered.
back up from there.
They haven't recovered.
But what I was gonna say is to Chris, I think this is why we stopped doing what we were doing in the past. Like it's hard to turn your critical mind off when you're watching things to actually critically analyze it, review it, talk about it afterwards. It's kind of like you can't watch wrestling and do that because you almost have to be dumb or retarded to watch it and enjoy it. Like you have to watch it like you'd watch like a Fast and Furious movie.
Yep.
Turn your mind off and enjoy the spectacle. The only way I can do that now for wrestling is if I don't watch a lot of it. Watch the big events, enjoy them. But like when we were watching Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and coming on YouTube and reviewing them, and then watching the pay-per-views and reviewing them and watching it, like you think about it too critically, and as soon as you do that, you realize it's a bit too dumb for you. Like they just don't do a good job at anything, and that's when you get upset and hate it.
Mhm. Like I said, you could like whatever you want. I have no like. I just don't. My issue with people is dumping, saying no, you're wrong. You should like it just because it's better than WWE or it's better than AEW. I don't give a shit about WWE fans. I don't give a shit about AEW fans. I don't care what either. If you're just a fan of one of them, you usually are a problem because you are negative towards one and can't accept the other. I am negative towards both because they are both the same and they don't entertain me anymore.
Yeah,
That's my issue. Wrestling to me is not entertaining. The thing is, it has come to the point where people are arguing. So Gable Stevenson, if you don't know who Gable Stevenson is, he wrestled at the University of Minnesota. He wrestled heavyweight. He's a 3-time national champion, folk style wrestler.
did he win gold?
Yes, he did. He won the gold
Okay,
medal.
I know her.
So
I know
Jake
who he is.
Hager came out and said, "I bet you can't take me down in 5 fucking seconds." Gable Stevenson, and I bet $20,000 you can't take me down in 5 seconds. Gable Stevenson said, "Just name the time and place." Everybody's like, "Oh, I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that." And then you got these dumb fucking people said, I think they should do it. That doesn't mean I want to see it. What good is it going to fucking do you if they do it and you don't see it? You say you want to see it, but you ain't going to fucking answer the question. Who's going to make money off that? Who wants to see a 5-second match or segment? Two guys getting ready to fucking wrestle for
Let
5
me also ask
seconds.
you, who
What
really
the
cares about Jack Hager?
Nobody. Jake Hager, and I'm telling you right now, Jake Hager would lose fucking $20,000. That's how good Gable Stevenson is. The point is, nobody wants to pay. No promotion is going to want to pay money to some. Well, AEW might. Nobody wants to pay $20,000 to see somebody take somebody down in 5 seconds. I mean, do you want to see that, Basement? Is that what you want
First of
wrestling to be
all,
all about? Is somebody taking somebody down in 5 seconds?
I wouldn't pay $5 to see Jake Hager at all.
See, there
I
you
don't want
go.
to see him do anything because I don't think he's talented. I think he's gangly as fuck. He might have had like some success in his amateur career, but as a wrestler, guy is fucking boring.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't want to see anybody do folk style wrestling for 5 seconds and spend any money on it. I mean, like 5 seconds. What the fuck's the point? You're not even watching. All you're watching is someone that's clearly outclassed being put down to the floor.
Right.
I don't know. Like, it's just like this is like these are the things that kind of anger me with wrestling, because you've got these guys like Jake Hager, or you've got these guys. They come after like the hot person of the month, someone that's actually doing something that is worthy of talking about,
Right.
and they latch onto them, and they try to do the like door to door salesman shit with wrestling.
Right.
If you know what I mean, like they try to like these cheaper than cheap plugs, try to get like eyes on the business, and it's like, oh god,
Well, I
it
hear.
just comes off as like a cry for help from someone that nobody cares about.
I'm with you. It's a little frustrating. So I'm gonna look and see when I can start playing Madden.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about a lot of wrestling, past wrestling, present wrestling. I mean, I'll always be a wrestling fan to an extent, and I agree with you guys in the chat that everybody should like. So you're fucking like what you like, watch what you like. Nobody should listen to anybody else for anything. I mean, I might have my own opinions about wrestling and why I can't watch it the way I used to, or why I don't watch it the way I used to. And I mean, that's an ever evolving opinion. You know, I might go back to watching wrestling a bit more if something ever happens that brings me back in. But a lot of that would probably have to be based upon not being an an active participant in social media anymore. Because social media to me is one of the big ruiners of wrestling in general. Too many people with too many opinions, with too many spoilers too. Like I hate being forced to watch something as soon as it comes out, especially as you get older and you're working. I might not have the opportunity to watch something as soon as it comes on, but to just open Twitter and see like the spoilers for half the show, be like, well, I guess I'm not gonna watch it.
Right.
And so I
I
know
know you're
exactly
not
what
a
happens.
spoilers guy, but
I mean, normally I'm not, but sometimes if I'm like, it adds something. I don't want to know the outcome. Like, I don't want to know the outcome to a game before I watch it. I don't want to know who won the game before I watch it. It does hurt me watching the game.
yeah. Um, Chris, I don't hate.
I
How
hate
do I
everyone.
say this? I don't hate AEW. I really want to like AEW, but I just can't get behind it. It's like, why should I watch more wrestling that does the exact same things? It might be a little more exciting, but there's a reason for that. Imagine if AEW had been around about the same amount of time as WWE and they were still doing the same thing. I don't think people would be as excited about AEW as they are,
I've been
if that
I've been
makes
very critical
sense.
of WWE in the past, and it's unfair of me to be not critical of other promotions that have come up. The one thing that I will never accept with AEW that I think has angered me the most is that they've basically fostered this social media descent between WWE and AEW. They've created that by constantly keeping WWE in their mind and mouth. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, stop. You are creating the fan base that a lot of fans are starting to hate. You are creating this team AEW that hates everything WWE does
Yep.
because you have all these cheap shots all the time with the cheap shots.
Yep.
Like, shut the fuck up and do your product. You
Yep.
don't see this anywhere else
Mm-hmm.
that's not fucking high school.
This is true. This is true. This is true. I can't find when it comes out. I think it's the 17th, I think Heather said. But I know next week, possibly, I will be playing Madden 22. We'll start a new season. I'll have it all set up and we'll be ready to go for the next year. For I deleted 2021, so the season I had in 2022 or for last year's, yeah, we're scrapping that shit. 'Cause that was terrible. Fucking lost 80-10 in one game. Then
That's
again, I
crazy.
was completely shit faced. Um. So yeah, I mean, all you've learned a lot about, well, enough, a little bit about me. I hate flying. My dad will be okay. I want to thank everybody for all the support and all that stuff, and I appreciate it. We're gonna make it. We always have. We always will. Um, I almost had a COVID scare, but then knowing me, I probably would be like, "Oh, I got COVID. I guess I got a cold." Um, I don't take sick days. I do, but then it's because I got a hangover. Um,
Yeah, that's pretty much the only time I take sick days. That or
so,
I'm fucking dying.
or you're
Then I'm then
just
I then
like,
I'm then I'm gone for like a year.
right? And then, um, but just know that I appreciate everyone here. I will be back next week. If Madden's out, and you'll know by next week, Thursday or Friday, we'll tweet out. Be looking for that video. There will be a video coming out tomorrow. It's a little teaser for a show that's going to be on my channel. There are things to come with that, and it'll be fun. Other than that, I think tomorrow nobody's doing anything. I don't think. Not sure. I know. I don't know if Connor and Heather are gonna play, and I know Basement. I don't know if you're gonna be there, but
I
the
am
Sunday
going
night
to
Call of
be
Duty.
recovering.
Yeah, I'm sure the Sunday night Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure that I no, they didn't do it last week. I was pretty excited about it because usually I'm in bed, but I was in 2 hours behind everybody, so I thought I'd stay up and watch, but that didn't happen. Connor was wore out.
He's on vacation, wasn't he?
No, he was the kids wore him out Sunday, I guess. Um, and then Monday, I don't know. You guys are playing a game. Then
Probably not. I think we'll do the group stream on Wednesday.
okay,
So Monday might be a day off for us.
okay,
Tuesday, we'll see what Gina's up to because I know she starts that job, so
yep,
she might not be available. But Wednesday, we're going to be looking to group stream so that we might try that Gang Beast game
okay.
or continue playing the Overcooked until we finish that. So that'll be fun to do as well.
Um, Now, I know, and I'm just going to say this now for everybody that has watched our channel over the last few months. Basement usually streams on Monday, so he's been I shouldn't say kind of, he's been under the weather.
Yeah,
So,
I've been basically, I'm gonna be in recovery for a long time. I mean, I might sound okay now, but guys, just so you know, it's an off and on thing. There's times where I just can't do anything but sleep. There's times where I can be up there. I mean, the only reason I'm up now is because I slept 4 hours before I woke up and it was basically time for JP to go live. So you know, like I'm dealing with a lot of health. I'll keep you guys apprised to how that works. But I mean, the furthest thing on my mind is YouTube. I'll be there when I can be there. Unfortunately, what that means is for the most part, I won't be doing a lot of streams that I run. Uh, Gratefully, if I am able to be there, Heather's usually able to run the stream.
mhm,
So that happens on Wednesdays.
yeah,
Other than that, though, we'll be doing some just more individual stuff. Maybe as time goes on, that'll change because
yeah.
like how I feel now is not how I'm gonna feel
Right.
weeks from now and things like that.
But
So
but I will be back on Fridays for sure. Also, be looking, and I might actually do something with Mortal Kombat because I said something about a league for that. So I might be doing something here and there, like if like on a Monday, if Basement's not feeling well, I might pop in and see if Connor wants to do some commentary for me, and we'll do it'll be recorded probably, but we'll do some. We'll put stuff out. I just don't want to overstep my bounds and step on people's toes. But I know I've been out at work. I've been working, so I will be back next Friday for sure. Heather will be back on Thursday. I don't know if she's playing dangerous golf again. So Wednesday, be looking for the group stream. If you haven't looked at what did I say is Gang Beasts, whatever. Is that right? Did I say that right? I think basically so. But so Gang Beasts, it's a game. If you haven't seen that, and if you are a gamer, go check that out. It looks pretty funny, and which means I won't be able to get any sleep because everybody will be laughing their ass off, which is I'm okay with that. But so that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. I have to get up tomorrow. I have a deployment reunion to go to tomorrow. I haven't seen some of these guys in 7 years, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Sunday, I'm going to visit my dad. Like I said, I will keep everybody updated on everything. I love you guys. Stay safe. Be well. Take care of one another. Hug your families, and have a good night, everybody.